Okay, what's good, stream? How's everybody doing? I can't lie, I am very, very tired. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long I lost. Pretty interesting game for us today. As you can see, FACEIT, Master Division. Red's Esports going to be taking on Gas 3 is not a job. Red's new roster, obviously, I guess you could say the core of the Imperial, I suppose. Whereas Gas 3, on the other hand, also had a bit of a rebuild, right? Booga having left. Who do they have on a hit scan? The Saudi hit scan player. I forget his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I'm a Chungus caster. It was him. GCB, I believe, left it as well. So it's now a very, very different side. So, I mean, you've got Nevix, Bones, Linrax, Baxter, Fake Jake, Sivart, and Havoc. I mean, what a team. So, two fresh FACEIT Masters rosters for the first time, at least here on the Spectrum cast stream. Map bans, hero bans are coming through first. So Gassy 3 have banned out Freya as Reds, or have at least picked Oasis. See how that's going to work out. Freya ban, pretty standard. The hero's good. It's annoying to deal with. I imagine Zoro's got a pretty strong one as well, given his particular playstyle, but we'll have to wait and see. And I can't lie, this might be a fast game, which would be pretty convenient to me, I can't lie. But we'll wait and see for exactly what happens. Because Gas 3 can absolutely, throw curveballs. They're a weird team. Especially if they go for the full, Havoc, Sivart, and Nevix nonsense that they have been known to do. Then it's going to be pretty interesting. See how both teams make content. Our match is being prepared, and we're getting straight in, I hope. So the other ban is Juno for Red's Esports. I'll get that punched in, and then we'll go live. Well, my size right as well. Gas 3 left side. Yeah. So Gas 3 may ban Freya. The other ban is Juno. And we are awaiting in lobby right now for Sivrat, Nevix, and Crocs to join. How am I doing? I'm doing. Look, I can't. There's a lot of positive in my life recently, but like I'm the type of person where if I have even get like a large positive and a small negative, it's still like a net zero. I don't know why I think that way, but it's just how shit works out. I believe in the Spectrum map fire buff. It's been popping off recently, to be fair. We've had more than a couple bangers, so we'll have to wait and see. Nevix is late. There we go. There's Nevix in. Now we're only waiting for Crocs. You can wait with me. You can stare at his ass. Judge him, please. Maybe if we judge him enough, it will like overcome his Frenchness, and he'll actually join. There we go. Perfectly timed. Well, I mean, no huge surprises. Nevix has gone Reinhardt. I mean, I for one am absolutely shocked. But hey, these aren't real comps just yet. Just waiting on people to ready up, I guess. I feel like it should be. There we go. There we are. CC, is that me? I think it might be. A lot of positivity in this lobby, considering it's Crocs and Nevix. He's asking what Booga is. He knows full well that Booga is now on Nano 7, but hey, hating for the love of the game. I get it. I get it. Okay, what are we seeing? With the Pharah, this is going to be a very annoying comp to poke out. Well, you just won't get poked out, realistically. You just kind of do infinity damage down main with a Red Esports. Gassier 3, they have to play for map flips with the Symmetra. You win a frontline trade, but other than that, you're going to have a pretty terrible time. So we'll see how this is going to work out. Start on some Sivrat Povs, rather, because why the hell not, I suppose. So now they got the information they're playing into Afara. They need to find something to go on pretty fast because they will probably lose an extended fight. So you hear King will just be able to sit on these rooftops basically indefinitely. I mean, incredibly slippy member to catch. Sivart takes them over to the jump pad, rather. Havoc heavily marked out. The map flip at least has completed. Nevix gold forced. Havoc makes no secret of his presence as he develops the angle. And, yeah, that's a bit rough. Nevix is dead. I mean, we should be able to pull relatively cleanly as long as Sivart is able to do his thing. So, at least the forward space not being taken. Ah, Baxter just dies. Big mistake coming through. FACEIT, expert player for all of 2 weeks with a Superstar Academy before getting the call-up, I suppose you call it, into Gas Tier 3. Playing at a higher level for sure, but one might maybe even want to call it a bit short-sighted. Oh, Sivrat just obliterated on the walk, though. Of course, I haven't mentioned yet that Nevix makes the swap over to the Diva. It's going to be probably better for hard shooting that has. But it doesn't appear to be working out much for Gas Tier 3 as they are basically getting spawn camps here. Red's Esports right now. Looking in charge. Larger than charge, I think is how we're going to call it. Right now. I don't think there's much that Gas can do. Oh, King barrages the spawns. Cost him his life. The NA import, of course, one of few in EMEA. So, free walk up, at least. And Nevix tries to put the pressure onto EGS, but the Eagle Slayer just chills on the angle. However, with Crocs also falling, it's a 3v5, one that Red's Esports aren't going to be able to battle back from. Well, trying to figure out exactly what the game plan is. I'm assuming Baxter has to carry down main to respond to EGS's. But no, we're going to open up with this overclock, mirrored with a wall. In general, relatively little value found, especially with King going down. Sivart going to do his best to live. And that he will be successful. Havoc is just in, man. What is this guy cooking? He's going to sort of barrage Zoro, isn't he? Oh, if he didn't get flipped away from me, absolutely would have committed to that play. But instead, he's going to try and TP. The cars are a threat, but he'll be able to survive for now. But, I don't know. Havoc. A slippery guy to try and take care of. King finds that out the hard way with a Blossom onto the Trace, to the flank, onto the Lucio. Jonowich gets an exit frag. But Gas Tier 3. Is that the same Baxter's super scared of women? Yes, yes it is. But Nevix with no mech, there's not a crazy amount he can do. So even though they're getting closer and closer in terms of that point progress, they are still pretty behind. Bomb now charged up. Nevix got his mech back, and the left flank given entirely inside of Red's Esports. Beat engaged in. King tries to get onto a target, but the defense matrix and the TP both allow the flip away from the engage, but in exchange, gonna lose out on the value that Casino Rush maybe could have provided. Sivart, the first to full window, pop from Linrax, but there's only so much value he can find, especially once he's pulsed and deaded. Double immo on this backline, but they're still gonna dice that ability all the same. How do I keep predicting you questions before you see them? I just try and get like the relevant info out, you know? I just say what people might want to ask. It just so happens that because I'm on delay, I don't get there in time. Right click. King is kind enough to eat that up. Touch, I believe it's possible if you like ping pong your Reaper with like a Sim TP into Reaper TP. But we're fighting so early. King dies for it, but unless Havoc's gonna touch, it really won't matter. 1% left to go. Nevix the one to get the wick to start burning. Havoc is able to do all of 10 damage from behind with the Reaper shotguns. And all the meanwhile, while he gets, you know, maybe even the flip, his team's just been wiped out by Zoro hitting a clip. Reaper's going to have to do something absolutely generational. With Baxter going down, that is going to become even more so the case. Fake out TP, catches Jonowich off guard, he gets his one. The only thing that matters. And that's going to be Red's Esports who are able to draw first blood on this map. Dude, the fake out TP is goofy as all hell. How's that even happened? Okay, we are still fighting. Not something I quite expected, but surely there's no way for Ghastly for you to try and turn this. Nevic's out of mech. Cleanse low HP expended for the side of EGS, so we have to get another touch, and yeah. I can't lie, I tapped out for a second to check something on Twitch. But hey, the result's the same, so I can't hate. I don't think there was too much interesting happening down that way anyway. Right. So, what are we seeing? Nevix has found All or Nothing, unfortunately, so far. Croc said that Booger is better, and, well, I probably agree on most heroes that aren't called Reinhardt. Nevix is a strong tank in his own right. But, well, it's a team. Lindrax, Baxter, Silver Art, Havoc is a team to play with. You got a very specific strategy for if it doesn't survive first contact with the enemy. You're very rarely going to have a strong fullback, right? Especially if you know what you're going to play into. Well, doesn't inspire much confidence. So it's spammed out so far by the far. Right now, King just playing like a Predator drone. Appears to be the largest issue. Crocs just falls. So, finally feels like a strong start for Ghastly 3. They're a hell of a lot stronger on the defense. By the way, I am Baptiste bugged now, so I can hear... Listen, look at this. You can still hear the Bap shooting. Anywhere on the map he is. That is going to drive me nuts. So to mitigate that somewhat, I'll be watching some Baptiste Pov. You can see what Lindrax is getting up to. Zoro steps out a little bit too wide. Havoc's able to clean that one up. Lamp is at least expended for the kill, so it's not totally without merit for Red Esports, but it's still very much not worth it. So, as long as Ghastly 3 don't go for any ridiculous overpeaks, then they're going to continue to be in the lead. Aggressive swing from Crocs. I guess he realized that there's not really a chance for anybody to put much pressure on. Havoc is in a bit of a weird spot as he decides to go towards a different health pack than maybe the one I was expecting, but he'll be able to escape all the same. Window popped. Not really going to be played for. But the point is in control for Ghastly 3 all the time. Kitsu popped. Havoc unwreaths. And finds himself a fat lot of nothing to shoot at because it has been fully kited by the opposition. Backset should be able to survive. Yeah. Not too much there. Crocs who need to force a trade, and he indeed will be staggered. Total flip of the script here for Ghastly 3. Been entirely one-way traffic in their favor. It seems like maybe the city center wasn't the point for them. Baxter does an oopsie. It just eats a rail headshot. And now, Reds can begin to constrict their opposition. Zoro loses half HP to Sim turrets. Nevix goes to the Terror Surge, and it keeps Jonowich on notice. Keeps the point at least so far in their favor. But it won't actually be enough to find that flip. Havoc with the Reaper ult. The only tool online. See if he wants to invest it. Now he goes for it. Why the hell not? King dies, at least, again to this. But there's no rest of Ghastly 3. Yo, what's up, Skeng One? How you doing, man? Unisco as well? Oh, yeah? They stole it from us, for real. Okay. So again, we see the swap over to the Diva for the retake. Something they want to do relatively consistently. Can you meow when they read this message? At least a sub from Meow, man. I don't work for free. Oh, this hit on the rotate is a nice idea with a Wrecking Ball. But unfortunately, we don't force out too much. Havoc is split, but I don't think the Reaper player will be too upset about that. Mines, jettisoned. We'll find a lamp at the very least, as Zoro tries to clear onto the point. Havoc reveals his presence, but in terms of what he can actually catch onto, it's not a crazy amount. Zoro, on the other hand, is able to eliminate Linrak's back, so the only support still active. There's not much he can really do here. I figure a reset may well be in order. He'll be, or at least will try to escape. Gets the OC out of Zoro, I guess the best outcome here, but yet the stagger as well. On to Havoc, great shooting. I think that out of that failed Sakura roster, Zoro was maybe one of the stronger pieces, and I think maybe he didn't have his proper shot at things in OWCS. This Reds roster, he may well be looking at as his ticket back into the cool kids club. Still going to prove his mettle once again, though, in FACEIT Masters, and, you know, strong opposition to play against. Not only the relegation teams from FACEIT, but, I mean, you think about the other teams in Masters as well. Some really strong contenders. Kitsu pop from both sides. Havoc can't catch on to too much. Maybe he can here, though, as EGS fully kites his Blossom. He'll go 1 for 1 when all is said and done. Blade active for King. And he's able to get 2, maybe 3. Just 2, apparently. But 2-0. A hell of a lot closer there for Reds Esports, but the swap over the ball was strong enough. 1-0 here. And Gassier 3 sure they have answers, but also that maybe these teams aren't quite at the same level just yet. It's talking about Baxter is crazy. It's supposed to be a Golem reference. I mean, I guess. I think, doesn't Golem say they stole it from us, though? They stole it from us. They took it from us, my precious. Like that kind of beat. Anyways, that's enough of my Lord of the Rings. My throat is already bloody ruined. Cheered 1 bit. Does this work? Suck my nuts, man. Suck my nuts. 1 singular bit. You're a criminal. You know what? Bag's a bag. You'll get like half a meow then, I guess, for that. To be like meat. That's what you're getting, I'm afraid. Listen. Lineup's been finalized already, so we're ready to go in just as soon as players join the lobby once again. See if they want to make any lineup changes. Gassier 3 doesn't seem like it. Same could be said for Reds Esports. And just to confirm, yep, we got the same 5 Donnies for each side. Bans, D.Va, Farah. So I'm assuming the D.Va ban came through from Nevix. So I'll punch those bans in real quick, and then we can get that all flipped. There's D.Va. Other ban was Farah. Maybe it's the other way. Let's find out. Dude, Crocs is being goofy. That guy might be on the op block. There we go. Should be updated now. There we go. There's a shake for you. There you go, Havoc. My hair is so messy right now. I'm getting it fixed soon, TM. But for now, it's like I got a bird nest in my head. It's fucked up. Tammy, thanks for the follow. Very kind. Trained individual is Nevix. That guy might actually just, like, need to be locked up. Zoro and the Freya. Remember, this is what was banned at map number 1. This is what we really wanted to see. Wait, is he played? He plays default crosshair. Damn, haven't seen that before. So 2 bits means I get the whole me out. No, this exchange ain't linear. This exchange is not linear. Oh, Zoro so low HP, he's not able to survive. This fight might be over basically before it started. Crocs tries to find a catch. He will not. And so, a very fast first point count for Garcia 3. King on the Sombra, I think, is a curious choice here. You've got good ults. That's for sure. But, I mean, it's normally played for the 1v1 into the Freya, one that you can be pretty certain Garcia 3 is simply not gonna play, right? I mean, obviously they could always surprise me, but if I see Sivart Havoc on the enemy team, my first thought is not, yeah, they're gonna be fantastic at that Freya hero. See what King's up to, as we discussed the pick. Hat comes through. Virus as well, but in terms of the actual pressure, it's not negative, but it isn't all that much either. Just trying to get towards that EMP, one that seems an impossibility right now. I feel like in the meanwhile, Zoro's just been able to shoot people. The Freya pick for pretty much 100% of scenarios is going to be getting the job done. And Archhold found, obviously this is going to be pretty annoying to break through. I guess for Garcia 3, you do have the advantage of having, you know, good ults. That is going to be somewhat negated, though, by the electromagnetic pulse. That could kind of ruin your day. So, let's see what the game plan is for playing around it. We'll see if King just wants to rip it as they walk. There's the Kitsu. He doesn't want to take the engage. Just want to let his team kite. May will cost Crocs' life, but it will also give him a juicy catch onto 3. The TP almost costs him, but he'll be allowed to survive. TP out for Nevix. Won't connect him to anyone. Ray pop from Linrax means that Nevix can walk. Beat will be able to land wall. Blossom drop from Havoc won't catch onto a thing, but the bowler shot not Ajax, but also will not find value. As somebody still has not fallen in this engagement. Every time on when King's Row, it is like a 5 umpire. King speared out. Havoc down. Oh, EGS! What a boop! Crocs commits with the Rampage, catches onto the 2, and the bleed is uncomfortable, but it won't actually clean things up. Good act, will force the cleanse. Baxter, no TP, I guess, no way of running away from that. He just sits there, eats the damage, and ends up meeting his maker. Another backline flip for Linrax. This one not going to work out so well. EGS able to connect some kunai to the back of him, and EGS. A 3-piece. Very nice from him. And looks for more. Of course, we'll be able to connect it. Yeah, those were all incredibly Mickey Mouse kills, but he did also just catch a 4K, so, you know, one can't really hate. Nevix asking the questions we all want to know the answers to. You might have to question your relationship with God at that point then. You know, I might not be Catholic, but even I can recommend confession sometimes. King's got an EMP. I think that's the important thing. That's what we should really be talking about now. What's he gonna do with it? Other than just surf on rooftops. Pops it. Cancels the... Oh no, he doesn't cancel the Terror Surge. That interaction was changed, my mistake. Zoro's dead for it. It doesn't seem like much imminent possibility of a trade, as I say that. Sivart does int for his life, and so does Havoc. So we are in a bit of a weird scenario, all things considered. Baxter pops the Kitsu, mirrored out, of course, by his counterpart of EGS. Cleanse stops the axe from finding any value at all, but Nevix, low HP in terms of value, is also significantly decreasing. Nevix, well not Nevix, Baxter uses the TP to get an instant cleanse, the iframe onto the Rampage. But considering it hit so many, then it won't extend his life for too long. Nevix still going to be alive for a second, but he will hit the hay now.
No one can stop me.
Sivart is... I hate to say it, but we've seen some awkward deaths from Sivart. Feels like Havoc and him have been the ones going down first. Hey, Spectrum cast when you meow when you read this message. No. It would be funny if I did it, but I'm putting my foot down. I need money. Shameless bag chaser here. Have you seen this economy? Zoro does the Freya thing. Already! Oh! Linrex was low. The splash damage from the boulder was the attempt, at least from Zoro. Oh, there we go. That gets the job done pretty easily. And maybe more on the docket for one of the premier hit scans in the region. He just hard flanks and closes down that fight. 17 seconds left to go with touch. I believe an impossibility. No even chance for Gastier 3 to get in position for a touch. Which is why we see Linrax hoping for a miracle, one that appears not to materialize. Oh, what's up, Hippie? Thanks for the follow. Wait, you didn't follow me before? That is insane hating. Well, I swear you've... Where's my data column gone? What the hell? Yeah, you've literally been on the stream before. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. But hey, that's life. That's life. Take another look. This is his stats. Crux has died once. King's died once. I mean, hard to come up with much positivity from a map like this, right? It's decent progress, I guess. It's horrible. But unfortunately, I'm not feeling particularly hopeful. I don't see much reason for positivity. Yo, what's up, Cyrus? Thanks for the follow. Very kind. It feels almost moot talking about comps at this point, but you know, at risk of repeating myself, Gas F3 are playing the same thing. Zoro, spawn peek. See if anybody wants to put their head into the vice. It's closer than you maybe would like. Baxter almost gets a haircut, but he'll be able to escape for now. Havoc. Wraith is forced. He's got no cooldowns in the backline. He's essentially a non-factor in this fight, which is why we see such an aggressive swing from Res Esports. So, I mean, peppered from the Hellfire shotguns, but in terms of the actual value, basically negative, right? So this Freya just free shooting. Crocs does fall. His aggression maybe a little bit too much to handle. And with Aegis going down as well. Then a fight that didn't start fantastically for Gaster 3 able to turn in their favor. I see that push-ups. I will do them as soon as this map is over. King insta dead actually doesn't even have a chance to get started. What is happening with our angles? Crooks trying to find a way in. Not really seeing it while Sivarat walks towards the backline. I mean, the hack, apparently, onto Havoc is enough to cost him his life. King traded. We're getting really close to ults here. That's probably got to be both the hope and the worry of Gastier 3. Because whilst the EMP is a huge problem, other than that, they just win on ults. Like 95% of the time. See how things work out. Krog subs down to 10 HP now, 0. Zoro speared out. We'll be able to get the hell pack at least. So he's able to hold his forward positioning. There's a turn back of Sivarat, but not able to connect the shots, and instead just decides that the teleporter is an eyesore. Removes it. What a spear from Nevix. Great shooting from the Orisa player. Beams his Crocs. Holds the line right now for as long as humanely he can. Ray popped. Spear this time won't connect. Havoc keeps the area clear, but in terms of the frags, Not getting maybe as many as you'd like. The same could not be said of the opposition, though. Been able to find all three. And a pretty tragic fight, honestly, for Gas3, where they invest heavily and gain very little. Worst of all, the EMP still on the boards. Thanks for the follow, Shurog Jr. So it's just going to be a King EMP fight. I'd be very surprised if anything different happens. Just... oh, my game sound a bit. There we go. Just have to wait for time to go and rip it. But maybe you don't even need to rip it as Nevix overextends, and only a TP from Sivar is going to be enough to keep him alive. Get the spot onto Baxter, who's in a corner he maybe doesn't want to be in, but Jukes and differential. I see why you stole this kid from Super Shy Academy. That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. But nope, Sivar goes down. Baxter able to escape temporarily, not permanently. The taser finds the cleanup. And the fight will pause. Okay, you're at kind of one-fight territory. It's kind of sort of one-fight territory. You're playing into an EMP. Are you feeling particularly hopeful about this? I'd probably say no, right? See if things work out any differently once that contact actually ends up coming through. But in general, I would expect Red as Esports to be going up 2-0 in this map. No attempts at the spy check. EMP connects onto 4 with the Kitsune rush. Sivarat going down. Next on the chopping block being Linrax. Yeah, folks, this one's cooked 2-0. Gas3 again. Competitive enough. They're not getting blown out the water. But they also showed that there's a reason Reds and most people's tier lists are towards the top. What do you come back to? Gas3 gameplay, bro. Gas3 gameplay. Chance for a touch? It don't seem like it. Sivarat tries. And to be fair, Havoc is there with the Blossom. Plenty of damage. Eliminations. Negative. The beat doesn't catch onto Zoro, which is maybe the game plan of Havoc. But it doesn't matter if the player just fully survives. Sivarat dead. So too is the Scottish Rita OPTP. Nevix burnt. And this one, like I mentioned before, all over but the crying. You know something's off when Nevix is actually hitting spears for real. Still not going to be enough to garner a map, though. There we go. Okay. How many push-ups did I say I do, Groka? 5? Let's make sure. I didn't say, so I'll just do 5. Ugh. Let's go. Here we go. It's done. I haven't done exercise in so long. God, I feel like an absolute, like, not a spring chicken. I can see King consider the sort of EMP in real time for real. And it end up working out though. Sombra Band for Gas Tier 3. Runas Happy gonna be the map choice. Just gonna wait for the choice to come through from Reds, and then we'll be maybe finish off this series real quick. I've had really good luck with 3-0s, but this time, even though, you know, I'm not gonna hate and say like Gas A3 are terrible, but you know, on paper it is a bit of a one-sided game. But I want to see how both these teams were looking, and if it's in the same game, even better. I also wanted to know whether we see like Bones Fake Jake play at all. Obviously, hasn't been the case so far. Maybe in the future. Lineup being finalized. Bans at Orisa Sombra. Gonna get lobby ready. And then we could start what could be the final map of the day. So it's alright. Bans are Orisa. Sombra. There we go. So, the question is, what does Nevix play now? He can't play any Orisa. I guess D.Va? Which I guess isn't that terrible on this map. But it's hardly fantastic, right? It's not exactly what you want to be on. So, we'll see. We shall see, I think. I thought you were going to type through the maps. I forgot every time. I will say, these are definitely two teams with personality. You know, watching Gassy 3 on the FACEIT broadcast, you know, last year's playoffs were incredibly entertaining. Booga Widow types. Oh, Lord of mercy. I hope we don't end up running out on Doom Rhine. We're running out on Doom Rhine. We're running out on Doom Rhine. Oh, okay, man. Why not? Doom's gonna be strong at disrupting the rotations, but he ends up getting caught. He will find his HP vanish. Counterpin means that, yeah, Crocs is just dead, surely. 1 HP, cleanse out. Not yet stable, but he's safe enough. Nevix gets the walk for free. These counterpins are going to work out well in his favor. He cancels the pin. How is Zoro not dead? Great shield coming through the peel from the Tracer. But Baxter and Lindrex both fall. The support's dead simultaneously. And a couple good opportunities for Gassy 3. Unfortunately not followed through on. Bit peak, innit? See if Havoc gets cleared, actually. And I imagine he can't stay here indefinitely. But the Doom doesn't really want to either, you know? The Doom's kind of a fat DPS in a lot of ways, more than a tank. Yo, what's up, Bunty? Thanks for the follow. How's it going, man? Oh, we're having a great day. Crocs, very soft on Havoc. Gives him a love tap before he decides to back out. Sivir eats a punch. But he'll be okay. And the Malga apparently is the game plan now for Nevix. Got a good 1v1 for sure into the Doom. But with Sivir falling, I'm not sure it matters all that much. Not a counter pin, just a regular one. Crocs is his best to survive, but won't be able to. The damage too high. But remember, there's still plenty more members of Res Esports to deal with. Just the Frenchman. Nevix as well, so low. If Zoro swings a little bit more aggressively, then he might find himself meeting his maker. TP for the scale is not a bad idea. The healing's just not there in time. Neither too is the wall from Sivir. Cleanse at least drops, give them some form of added sustainability, but I mean, we're seeing exactly what's happening, right? Crocs just killed 3. Now he's typing. Been goaded into it. Finally some honest Overwatch comms. Yeah. Let's go with that. Punch. Oh, have it stunned up and allowed to escape. Plenty of good ults. For the side of Gassy 3. Empower punch, though, could well cost them dearly. Punches through all 3. Kitsu on the point. Linrax goes down. There's no chance to loose the orbital ray. Pulsum hits the floor. The meteor strike will land on top of Sivir and combined with the punch, surely that's going to be a dead Symmetra. Apologies for that. Okay, he's just trying to aura farm now. But no, we get closer and closer now to completing 103, 105 meters the lead. Increasing, of course, as well. Punch. Threaten. Not actually committed. As Crocs will find himself spending 400 HP for that particular little scare. Punch, oh, this time is going to connect. Sivrat does not know what hits him. Because, I mean, Empower Punch combined with a Bodo Shot is a lot of burst damage to deal with in a very short period of time. Havoc? What are you thinking, man? I gotta know what's in your head. He's in. He's looking for Blossom. He doesn't find the 2-step onto EGS, and instead of losing it, finds that his Wraith Form has come online in time. Punch. Garnered for Crocs. The stun from Nevix. Gonna keep him honest. Dude, Crocs survives on 16 HP. It's kind of nuts, no? He's gonna be pretty worried about the cage, though. If Doom gets caught, he is just the most dead of maybe any hero ever. Bodo Shot kills Baxter. Cage on to Crocs would surely cost him his life. The kite's pretty good. The fact the wall is here is cover is ridiculous. What is this? Nevix has just had his ankles broken. Bruh. Personally, I wouldn't have that. Crocs killed. And Gaster 3 able to get this presence on the cart. Linrax, not in a spot he'd really like to be in. Maybe this TP can help out if you flip really fast. It's hard to adjust. The wall as well gives you the ability to easily pressure the background. The wall won't connect onto Zora. But there's not much that Havoc can do about that, being 6 feet under and all. Dodge on the slam. Nevix gets his one, but only that. Cart back in control of Red Esports. Average Doomfist hook break. Yeah. Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that. Right, so if you are Gastier 3, what can we say that's positive? You got a Kitsune Rush, this one unanswered. However, you are walking into Meteor Strike, Bola Shot. So if anybody is going to pop off, I expect it to be kind of the Zoro Crocs kind of too. King, insta-dead. Bola Shot invested. Meteor Strike as well. Land on top of the TP, which are going to largely break it, but no eliminations found, and drop down low. He's going to have to back out. Harald works the corner until he TPs into a punch. That's maybe not the optimal play. Crocs is probably just dead here, though. He can punch as many people as he wants, but he's got 150 HP, and there's a Kitsune rushing the other side of the map from him. The healing, the good enough from EGS. And with Baxter traded out for the opposing Kiriko, then I would assume the lead is to the side with the more players yet living. Which is Res Esports. Oh, this feels a bit limp, unfortunately, from Gas. Good damage from King as he tries to do what he can. Like I want to say, I don't think King has been fantastic so far for Reds. He's been doing his job, but no more than any EMEA trace. I think it's interesting, definitely, that he has been brought in as this export slot, you know, rather than a Korean option. I understand there's budgetary issues for sure, but makes you wonder about whether, you know, this is his full potential or whether there's more yet that we'll see from the player. Beat engage comes through. Silverart punched away from the teleporter, but he'll be allowed to survive the floor pulse. Enough to take care of Nevix all the same. Ray popped, and as the cage fades, it at least allows some freedom of movement from the Tracer. And it's with that freedom that Res Esports attempts to turn the fight that Sim TPs are kind of ruining King's day. But how do you clear up these 3 remaining players without any healing of your own? Damage onto EGS. There's no health back. Double my death. This map says eggs. It's got 5 deaths? 10 deaths in the series? That's not bad. Or 5 deaths in... Yeah, that's very good, in fact. 9 for Baxter is somewhat suboptimal. I'll give you that. Blossom on the stairwell from Havoc. Hard enough to shoot, but we'll take care of Jonowitch. Trade 1 for 1. It appears to Have favored. Gassier 3. King just doesn't want to shoot his gun, I guess. He's really scared about feeding supportal charge? I don't know. What is this fight as well? Now he takes a lot of damage, and Crocs will take even more. The other side of things. Jonovich. Rip Bozo, bro. Well, here's some proper tank aim there, though. Hopefully that's rectified later on.
That'll have to do.
First death of Crocs. Not what you love if you're Res Esports, but at the 25-second mark, still with a, you know, now decreasing lead of about 50 meters, you're not super worried. Especially with there being nobody really who can chase down Zoro in this really behind position. Good damage coming through from the Freya, and yeah, this hero's fair and balanced, guys. That's going to be GG. Zoro able to finish things out pretty simply. If I had to give an MVP, of course, it would be him. Gato 3. Able to play a strong enough game of Overwatch, but Red Esports showing why they're probably the best in the region. King pretty overrated from what I've seen. Yeah, that's the opinion I've got right now. We'll see if it changes too much. Yeah, still plenty of time for him to put on a good account of himself.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
But like I said, when you only have, you know, a couple import slots, you're thinking about qualification to OWCS, you need your imports to be just crazy. And so far, unfortunately, hasn't been that. But yeah, that's going to be more or less everything from me today. It was a nice and short one, so we can probably raid like Bullskunk if he's still streaming. I'm trying to think. Do I have any like news? Low-key, not even. Literally nothing is coming to mind. I got nothing for you guys. I'll see you whenever. Peace. Oh no, thank you very much. Gus Ring for follow last second of the stream. So cool, man. But I'm heading off. Adios.